All right. Good morning. Welcome to a person you've never seen before talk about Big Brother. Um, I've been really disappointed in the HOHs this current season, and I thought about it a little bit, and I think I know exactly why, and I'd like to explain it to you guys. So, hopefully, you can get some context and maybe get some understanding of why their strategies have sucked so bad. So first of all, um, this is me right now. I'm upset. I'm angry because the bad HOH plays this season, uh, they've resulted in something very tragic. My favorite, Adrian, he's awesome. I love him. He did amazing. Well, he could have done a lot better socially, but he was amazing. I loved him, and he's gone too soon. And that's part of why I'm making this video, is because I'm upset that the reason why he's gone, is because these HOHs have been playing so badly. Okay, now here's some context. I'd like to define some terms. I'm talking about targets and versus pawns today. The target is the person who the HOH nominates with the goal of evicting them, versus a pawn is somebody who the HOH nominates even though they want them to stay in an effort to increase the odds that their target gets evicted. Also, more context. I don't believe in pawns. Pawns aren't real. You shouldn't put up pawns. You shouldn't nominate yourself as a pawn. Anyway, that's my personal preference. But people use pawns, they think about the game in terms of pawns and targets, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. So, the way that Big Brother usually works, my understanding, is when there's two nominees, you usually nominate a target and a pawn. One person you want to go home, and one person you don't really want to go home, right? So, what happens is, if worst case scenario, your target wins the veto, pull themselves off the block, you just put up your backup target goes home, everybody's happy, you had a good HOH, right? With three nominees with the battle block, uh, if you try to do the same thing, where you try to have minimal blood on your hands, you put up one target, right? Here's what could happen. Target wins the veto, comes off, put up your backup target. Now your backup target wins the blockbuster. They come off. Now a pawn goes home, and now everybody's sad because that was a terrible HOH and nobody likes you. Um, and so what I thought about recently is the updated strategy for the blockbuster era. You need to nominate two targets. So, when one of your targets wins the veto, pulls themselves off the block, you put another target up there. So then, worst case scenario, one of them wins the blockbuster. You still have a target, goes home, and everybody's happy because you had a good HOH because your target went home, right? Now, I know what you're saying. Chris, I'm just going to win the veto because I'm super cool and awesome and I'm good at competitions and I'm the HOH. All right, that mindset kind of makes sense in the two-nom era because in two-noms, worst case scenario, obviously, it's you against the world. But best case scenario, it's 4 versus 6. Those are really good odds. If you really want a certain person home and you've been playing really good socially, a 4 out of 6 odds of winning the veto is pretty good, right? And in the three-nom era, worst case scenario again, you against the world. Best case scenario, 50-50. It's a coin flip. Do you really want your entire game riding on a coin flip going, oh yeah, I'm just going to win the veto because I'm good at comps? We've seen this season that doesn't work out. Okay, so let's go over the 3 weeks of the HOHs and what their strategies have been and why they've been bad and why they need to nominate more targets, right? So Vince, first HOH, he decides he's going to put up one target and two pawns. What's the worst that could happen, right? My target could win the veto, but that's not going to happen, right? Oh, my target won the veto. All right, that makes sense. So Vince goes and he says, what's the smartest thing to do? I'm going to nominate a third pawn. So now there's three pawns on the block. Kelly wins the blockbuster. Pawn goes home. Everybody's sad. Uh, Zay also being a vote for Vince, right? This was a bad HOH for Vince. He lost one of his potential allies, right? All right, week 2. All right, Jimmy. Jimmy listened to me. He put up 2 targets, all right? This is how you need to play in the blockbuster era, right? So, oh no, my target won the veto, pulled himself off the block. But we planned for this, Jimmy. We put up a target. Oh no, Jimmy, that's another pawn. Okay, that's okay. Because there's still a target on the block. Oh, There was a second veto. Your second target just pulled themselves off the block. But that's okay, Jimmy, because you can still put another target on the block and have a good HOH. He put up another pawn. Once again, at the blockbuster, there's 3 pawns in the chairs. Pawn wins the blockbuster, pulls himself off, pawn goes home. Everybody's sad because you had a terrible HOH, and Jimmy lost a number for himself. 2 weeks in a row, the HOH lost a number for themselves. All right, Lauren. Lauren came in being a super fan. She knows what's up. She's really smart, but she only has 1 pawn on there, or 1 target. Kelly specifically is a pawn this week. I do want to note that. She doesn't want Kelly to go home. But, what's the worst that could happen, right? Your target could win the veto. That's not going to happen. I'm just going to go out and win the veto. Oh, uh-oh, my target just won the veto. All right. All right, Lauren. We've seen Vince. Seen Vince's HOH. We've seen Jimmy's HOH. You know what to do here. You messed up by not nominating 2 targets, but you need to put up a target, and she put up a pawn. And then that pawn went home. That pawn, which is a number for her, went home. And now everybody's mad because you had a terrible HOH. So, what did we learn over these last 3 weeks? Nominate 2 targets. Put 2 up there. Put 2 targets up there. And do not plan on winning the veto. You probably won't. This season, every single target has won the veto. And it is at best a coin flip for the HOH. And it's probably worse than a coin flip. And when your target comes off, not if, when your target comes off, prepare for the worst, right? When your target comes off, renominate another target and have this backup target in mind before nominations, right? Go into the nominations assuming that one of your targets is going to pull themselves off the block because history this season has showed that's probably going to happen. Stop being afraid of getting blood on your hands. The reason why they've been nominating pawn after pawn after pawn and why pawns keep going home is because they're afraid of getting blood on their hands, but they're literally just massacring their own numbers. It doesn't make any sense. Put up targets. You're killing me. And you killed Adrian. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I needed to get that off of my chest. Hopefully that helps people understand not just why it has felt like bad HOHs, but why it's actually been bad HOHs. Thank you.